Growing up in Queens, tell me about it.
We weren't the creators of hip hop because the Bronx owns that,
Right.
but we was definitely one of the front runners. That really took hip hop to different heights. With people like Russell Simmons. Who I call him the Godfather.
Right.
Of hip hop and
Run DMC.
Run DMC. Who were enormous for hip hop. Just amazingly big things. LL Cool J.
Right.
The list goes on. Onyx,
Tribe Called
Tribe
Quest.
Called Quest. Myself. Fucking 50 and his whole, thing. His whole crew. So Queens is we've spawned a lot of fucking great talent.
Like at what point did you really think that you gonna take rap seriously?
I had to be about 14, 15.
Okay.
Just starting high school. Started getting into the music real heavy. We was before that. We was just young dudes, just in the hood doing what we do. Out on them streets. Selling drugs, whatever. Just trying to make some money, be successful in life. Those are the first successful figures you see when you come from the hood. Is the drug dealers. Motherfuckers with the big cars and they got all the bitches and shit. So that's your first sight of what success is, and you figure out how to obtain that success. And the easiest way is to grab a pack and go out on the block or whatever. But being from Hollis, I got to see the other side of it too. I see Running D coming through.
Right.
I see L coming through. So
Jam
it
Master
was
Jay.
Jam Master Jay, and it was like, oh shit, he got the new 850. I'm dying to get one of those. So, that gave me another outlook on it too. Like, I don't only have to do this. Maybe I could do that and obtain success and shit.
How old were you when you first started selling drugs?
I was probably about 12, 13.
What were you doing at that time?
Shit, I had just moved out of my grandmother's, house and started living back with my mother. I lived with my grandmother from the time when I was about, maybe about 6
Okay.
to about 11, 12, that age. And, my mom, she wasn't doing as well as my grandparents, So we were struggling and hustling was it was kind of inevitable. We moved. It felt like we moved every week, me and my moms, from spot to spot.
That's tough.
It was tough. My pops wasn't there, whatever. My grandparents, they was holding her down, helping hold down the whole situation for a lot of years. And, then that went sour. Their relationship went sour. So we was kind of like the black sheep of the family, and it was just me and moms.
But what do you think was the craziest thing that you experienced selling drugs during that time?
It was a lot, man. I mean, like dudes that was close to us, their parents was on the shit and shit like that, and sisters and brothers, and we used to sell to them too. Our motto was, if they ain't gonna get it from us, they gonna get it from somebody else. So, when I look back on those times and situations, I was like, that was like some crazy shit to do, sell to your man's moms or, like it was just crazy. But when I was selling, I think the craziest shit that I went through when I was selling dope, I was up in Schenectady, up in Albany, and I lived with a dope fiend, and we used her apartment as our, kind of like our trap house or whatever. That's what they call it now, but then it was just it was the spot or whatever, But we used her house as our spot where we bagged up and held money and shit like that. And she had a little son, that lived with her, and she was always too fucked up to really care for the little nigga like that. So, we essentially became his father figures. And as twisted as it may sound, we was a lot of good for the kid. We took him under our wing. We let him know, stay in school, get your education. Shit that we wasn't doing. You know, stay away from the weed, stay away from hustling. You know, all the shit that we was doing, we was trying to encourage the young man to stay away from. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you know that we knew that the shit we was doing wasn't right, but it was kind of a way to keep everything going, or ends to a means, I guess. You know, so, you know, that was probably the craziest shit that I endured.